they're so upset with us, saying that we keep on making up pronouns and genders and new words, and I just don't know how else to tell you this, but all words are made up. In fact, the words made up were made up. Plot twist! Invent was invented. And I don't want to yuck your yum. Like, if that's what you're into, ideologically opposed to made-up language, that's a brave stance. But I'm just asking for consistency.
That was internationally acclaimed comedian, poet, and author ALOK. They have been instrumental in helping to raise awareness about the transgender community. They are currently on a world comedy tour with stops coming up in Miami and New York. And guess what? They're here to tell us all about it. Please help us welcome to the studio, ALOK. Welcome, welcome.
Thanks so much for having me.
We're going to talk about the comedy tour because it is worldwide and coming to a city near you. But I also want to talk about the importance of this week. It's Transgender Awareness Week. If you would, talk a little bit about why it's important, what you want people to know, and maybe what perhaps the biggest misinterpretation of what your community represents and wants to bring to the world.
Yeah, totally. Thanks so much for having me here. So the majority of information around trans people out there right now is factually incorrect. People are prioritizing other people's anxieties and projections about us rather than our lived realities. So it's strange because people feel like they know us even though they don't even know any of us in real life. And the importance of Trans Awareness Week is for all of us to just do better. And I love learning. I think that's the best part about being alive. So I hope that people take this week as an opportunity to check their preconceived notions and stereotypes and recognize that trans and non-binary people actually have so much more in common with you than you might think.
And ALOK, you've been very outspoken and vocal about backlash and, in many cases, unfortunately, tragic backlash against trans and non-binary people. Why do you think, first of all, again, about misconceptions, is it getting better? It seemed like things were getting better. Is it getting worse? What's your experience and view on that?
Yeah, it's really sad to say this, but actually 2022 has the most number of anti-LGBTQ legislations ever in US history. And this is predominantly targeting trans and non-binary people. So actually, legally, it's getting worse. And from my experiences touring across this country, I hear everyday lived realities of trans people facing physical violence. So I think what's hard is that the media often projects us as hypersensitive snowflakes who are just making up issues, when the majority of trans people, especially those of us who are trans people of color, can't even go outside without fear of being physically attacked. So what I want people to understand is that this narrative that it's just getting better over time, that naturally things are moving towards progress, isn't true. The way that it gets better is when we take public and principled stances to create safety for people. So rather than on just relying on the idea that it's inevitably going to get better, what if we made it better together?
I love that. And how do you bring comedy into something that is actually very serious?
Yeah, well, I think first of all, the way that I survive is through comedy. So sometimes people will come up to me, like this happened the other day. This person in an elevator was like, "What are you dressed up for? Is that your natural hair color?" And I said, yes, and it's just so funny that people say the darndest things to me. And so comedy is a way that I bring levity to my day-to-day experiences of just being like, imagine being that concerned about what someone else is wearing. I mean, yeah, so I think that what I wanted to do in my comedy show was to challenge this idea that trans life is just defined by tragedy or by violence, and to actually show we're really funny. There's so much joy here.
It's great. Beautiful. Yeah. And we're so excited to have you here. ALOK, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it, and you.
Thanks so much for having me.
All right, you can check out the comedy tour in Miami this Saturday, November 19th, and they will be in Brooklyn, New York, November 28th. Thank you again for being here, and good luck on getting some sleep. All right.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.